What's up guys, it's Obo and I'm back with another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Draft League video, and today I'm bringing you guys my run in the Banlist Battlers Tournament, the biggest Ubers tournament going on. I didn't draft my team. I actually was not paying attention. I DM'd Owen, OG and I was like, hey, do you know if there's, if the BBT's going on? And he was like, I have posted it in like 90 servers, dog. You missed out on the drafts and signing up. But then like a couple of days later, he was like, hey, somebody can't participate. They already drafted their team. Do you want to take it? And I said, sure. Definitely give me some type of practice for BBL that is coming up. If you guys did miss that announcement that is on Owen's channel, OG Albinas, I will put the link to that video in the description down below. We are in the BBL Wi-Fi. Very, very crazy YouTubers, draft league players, whatever you want to call it, that are in there. A bunch of friends that have played before, and then also like Pokémon, Nexus, Seabad, Shuckle King, which I've played Shuckle before, but it's been a long time. It's been a while, and Shuckle, we played in a draft league that was mostly people I went to high school with, and then Shuckle was somehow in it. But just a great group of coaches. And I'm super excited. I'm glad I got to do the BBT to help prepare myself to see what some Ubers would look like and how to use them. We did end up, unfortunately, having to use Reshiram. Reshiram is not a bad Uber. In the draft for the, I think, whoever drafted the team, they had the 12th pick and they took Reshiram. There wasn't much better on the board, but Reshiram can do a whole lot of things. DD with its 120 attack. It can also just be specs. It gets access to a plethora of moves. Its signature move, what is it, Blue Flare? It's 130 base fire type move. It just gets so many hard hitting moves. Fusion Flare as well is 100 base fire type move that's 100% accurate as well. This thing can just be like even screens. It can be a stall breaker, Will-O-Wisp. It can be a tailwind setter. I'm not going to run tailwind, but DD, it can just do a whole lot of things, but it is not the Uber that I wanted to use to prepare myself for BBL. But since they did draft Reshiram, they also got Chien-Pao, which Chien-Pao is very crazy. In BBL, you'll see my draft analysis go up later this week, I believe on Saturday, the 2nd? Yeah, November 2nd. But with it, you can draft like a platinum Uber and you don't get another one. You can draft a gold Uber and you don't get another one, I believe. But you can draft, no, you can get a gold and a bronze, which Chien-Pao is a bronze Uber. But you can also get like 2 silver Ubers. You can get a silver and you can get a bronze, or you can get 2 silvers, you can get a silver and a bronze. Whole lot of combinations, and I was able to use Reshiram and Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao is just crazy 120 attack. With the Sword of Ruin ability, guys, this Pokemon just fucking nukes things, to be honest. It lowers their defense, the Pokemon on the other side's defense, and you can just run Choice Banded Crunches and just absolutely obliterate your opponent. I'm excited to use Chien-Pao in this. Well, I was excited to use Chien-Pao. This was over a month ago. But next, it is a Terra Enamorous, which, like I said, I didn't get to draft this team. So I'm not the biggest fan of Enam. I know a lot of people are fans of Enam, especially with Terra. When I picked up the team, I was like, I'm going to take it no matter what the team is. But I did not want to use Terra Enam at all. But Terra Enam can do a whole lot of things. It can be a contrary setup sweeper. Contrary is where, like, if I click the move superpower, where I lower my attack and attack and defense. Yeah, it'll actually raise my attack and defense. But you can also run just Cute Charm and then run agility sets. You can be Calm Mind setup. You can be a whole lot of things with this Pokemon. It has a blistering 135 special attack and then a 106 speed, which isn't that bad. I really like the speed tier so far with 135, 90, and 106. But Terra Enam, this team is kind of glass cannon-y, but I just accidentally showed my next pick. The next pick was Rotom-Wash. Rotom-Wash is old reliable. I used this Pokemon in BBR last season, and it just does what you need it to do. It's not as bulky as you would want it to be in this generation, with everything absolutely just clicking hard-hitting attacks, but it's still is good. It can be a Volt Switch, Pivot Bot, it can be T-Wave, it gets Will-O-Wisp, it can be screens, it can be a Rocky Helmet Bot. Just like Rotom-Wash can be a whole lot of things. You usually see it being more of a bulky set, but either way, I've used Rotom-Wash before. I know how to use this Pokemon. Wasn't totally excited to use it, but it's okay. Next up, it was Orthworm. You cannot use Shed Tail with this Orthworm. Don't know why the person drafted Orthworm so early, but it is a Steel type, which I assume was needed. in the draft, there probably wasn't a lot left. But Earthworm can do a whole lot of things. With Earth Eater, it makes it immune to ground type moves. So ground type hits don't really do well against my team. I have a Rotom Wash, I have an Earthworm, I have an Enam. It kind of helps support that Reshiram. But if a Mold Breaker Pokemon absolutely obliterates the squad. But that's okay. Earthworm can set up spikes. It can be a coil set, Iron Defense Body Press, just a whole lot of things. Earthworm is here just to be a physically defensive nuisance. You know, just eat up hits and do its best. Next was Brambleghast. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I am a Brambleghast believer. That is my boy. That is my dog. I fucking love Brambleghast. Brambleghast isn't the greatest, but I do love it. 90 speed, 115 attack. People sleep on its attack stat. This thing can hit incredibly hard. With Wind Rider, if you hit it with like Hurricane or whatever, I believe it boosts your speed by 2. Or attack is by 1 if hit by a wind move, or Tailwind begins. So if Tailwind happens, then my attack will be raised by 1. Also gets Infiltrator, which is nice, which means I can ignore substitutes, reflects, light screens, roar veils, shit like that. This thing can also be a bulky Pokemon that's just very annoying with what's the move called? Why can't I remember it? Oh my gosh, why can I not remember? String Sap. I was gonna say Sap Sipper, but that's an ability. String Sap is where I heal the HP is equal to the target's attack stat, and then I lower their attack by 1. I think String Sap is a very, very good move. This also gives me removal with Rapid Spin, good priority in Shadow Sneak, another Spikes option. I just think Brambleghast is that guy. I love Brambleghast. The next pick was Mienshao. Not the greatest. If this was me, I would probably not draft a Mienshao on purpose. I'm not saying Mienshao is bad, but Mienshao isn't the greatest. But it has good abilities in Regenerator and Reckless, and the Inner Focus, which Inner Focus is pretty niche, but Regenerator is nice. It's one of the best abilities in Draft League, where you every time you switch out, you heal like a third of your maximum HP. So it's not bad. This one's gonna be a Choice Scarf, Choice Band, can be bulky AV. Doesn't have the greatest stats for bulky AV, but there are some niche matchups where it can run that. But Choice Scarf is usually the main set on this guy, which is U-turn, close combat. You can run High Jump Kick, but I'm so paranoid I'm not gonna run High Jump Kick. Ran that move way too often in Generation 7 leagues, and it just me miss. Or them click Protect, and then me lose half of my health or just die. But yeah, next Pokemon, and the last Pokemon, this is a Pokemon draft since it is a tournament, is Clodsire. Now, I think Clodsire actually is going to hold some merit. With Unaware, Water Absorb is its abilities, be able to get up Rocks, Spikes, T-Spikes, Toxic Pokemon, just be a nuisance. I can be Unaware, Recover, Toxic, and just beat the Pokemon that are trying to set up and beat me. This Pokemon also gets Roar, I believe. No? Does it get Whirlwind? What does it get? What does it get that makes them switch out? I cannot remember. I feel like it got something. Does it get... It gets Haze. So Haze is where you can also eliminate all stat changes. So being Unaware, if I'm going to absolutely just lose to a Pokemon, I can... If Clodsire can't beat it, like let's say it's... I can't think. Like a Lando T sets up, click Swords Dance. I live in Earthquake regardless. I can click Haze, and then they can do like what, fucking 80% to me or whatever. But then the rest of my team doesn't have to do it. So yep, that's the team. Not the greatest team, but we're going to see if I can rock with it and actually do decent with it. And the people I play are actually pretty good battlers, and I have no experience in Ubers, so I really just want to get my foot in the door and try out Ubers before I have to play in the Wi-Fi league. But yeah, catch you guys in the first battle. We're here with the first battle versus Pluto. Pluto is a very scary team with Deoxys Attack, Dragapult, Iron Hands, Iron Treads, Overquill, and they also brought the Crocalor, which had me scared for a moment. But let's go ahead and get into the battle. They are going to be Terra Fairy Crocalor, and then I believe Terra. I think that was their only Terramon that they brought, and then I'm also going to be Terra Ground Enam. But we are just going to lead off with John Thumbnail, the Chimpow, because I can just do so much damage to whatever. I am choice banded. I click Sacred Sword, and I take the Iron Treads down to its sash, as we just see rocks come up. So I'm basically going to be fine. I switch into Rotom Wash, expecting like a Dragapult, and Dragapult does come out. And I can hear just click Volt Switch, not expecting the Iron Treads to come back out, but that's fine. My opponent does click Iron Head, and they are going to die to Rocky Helmet. So with this, I was totally fine with this. I go hard Rotom Wash onto the Dragapult. I can't remember what my set was exactly, but Rocky Helmet. I did expect a more physical Dragapult. Like DD just kind of absolutely nuked my team once Clodsire was gone. So I was fine with Rotom Wash, physically defensive, and just being able to like take any hits. I can Will-O-Wisp that thing, or I can just full switch out at that point. Because I did expect Dragapult to come back out after I Sacred Sworded. But we see Poke come out now. Like, I'm fine with this. I can just go Clodsire and kind of scout to see what it is. As my opponent does click sub, so here I'm a little worried. And we see Infestation, which I was not expecting. And you see my Earthquake does not break the sub. So I'm like, holy shit, this is a very bulky Dragapult. And it is going to be a curse set with Citrus Berry, which is not what I was expecting at all. Really cool set for my opponent. We're going to be being hit by Curse, Infestation, and I mean, we can recover here because Dragapult is going to just be able to 1v1 us, but like, there's not much we can do here. I should have Earthquaked twice instead of that, but we are going to go down here. But we are Infiltrator or Bramblegast, so we can just kill this Dragapult with Shadow Sneak, and we do. Big Bramblegast showing why it can hold its own maneuvers. And here I see Dio Attack come out, and I was like, okay, so is this Focus Sash? Because I just Shadow Sneak and kill this thing. We see Overcoil come out as I just click Shadow Sneak, and I do 0%. So they were just probably scouting to see what I was, or what my initial answer would be. And I'm pretty sure I was Choice Banded Bramblegast in this matchup, so which did really well if you look at the matchup outside of Overcoil. Like Dragapult and Dio Attack just literally die almost to Choice Banded Shadow Sneaks. But here I don't really switch into Overcoil that very well. We go into Rotom Wash to see what it wants to do, and it clicks Barbarage and is going to get the poison, which is fine. We can probably just full switch out here, and we are faster, unfortunately, so we're going to have to go into Reshiram and just see what they're going to do. As they decide to get a Spike Up, which we are Heavy Duty Boots, but we can just DD up here, because I am going to bring... I'm just... love bringing DD Reshiram, but I was trying to decide if they were going to Terra, because if they didn't Terra, my Stone Edge did about what it did with the crit. But if I called their Terra and I click Fire type move, I just absolutely nuke this Pokemon. And the Crocolore, or my opponent with the Crocolore, expected a Dragon type move to come out, which is totally fine, but I could just click Stone Edge as a middle ground and see what they want to do. But I do get the crit, fortunately for myself. It makes it easier for me, but that does suck for my opponent. As they click Yawn, and here I can just click Flare Blitz and kill this guy. Crocolore's gone. My Reshiram's going to go to sleep, but it's really looking like my Enam plus my Champao plus my Bramblegast just win me this game. My opponent only has 3 Pokemon left. I have 5, so I can really just stay in here and let my Reshiram die. We are asleep just fine, and we see a Drain Punch come out. I assume expecting the Chimpao, but I really had no need to switch there because Chimpao can just Revenge of Sucker Punch, or our Bramblegast can just come in and click Shadow Sneak. And we do fortunately get the, what is it, second turn Wake Up? Or first turn Wake Up this turn? Yeah, it's only 1 turn sleep. And we can just kill this Reshiram. We've gotten very lucky with this. We click Outrage. We absolutely nuke that guy. I didn't want to die to recoil, so I clicked Outrage. And I click Outrage again on the Overquill. Do like no damage. That Overquill is super, super bulky. And we are going to die here this next turn probably. But I do get another kill with my Reshiram. So I was talking shit about Reshiram, but it put in the utmost work for me. I got very lucky though with it. It would not have done that well outside of the luck. I go to Rotom Wash here, and I can throw up a Will-O-Wisp, and I do miss, unfortunately, as it clicks Thunder Punch. I think after the fact, my opponent said they were Lumberry, so it didn't matter, but it would have shown me that's what it was. I click Moonblast, I get a crit. I don't think the crit mattered on the Moonblast, but either way, I think what would have happened was I just kind of win the game regardless with Enam, plus Champao plus Bramblegast. Like, the only thing is, if I clicked Will-O-Wisp and they got their Lumberry, what was I gonna say? I wouldn't be able to Poltergeist with my Bramblegast, but since I did miss, if I didn't kill with Moonblast there or whatever, I could just go Chimpao or Bramblegast and just win the game. So we did get very lucky, but we do win our first game in the BBT. So we want to know, Did not expect to win that game, but let's go ahead and get into the second game. Second game, we're going to be playing Potato Z. Very, very scary team with Fluttermane, Lugia, also with that Terapagos, the King Gambit, Quillfish, and then that Garchomp. This team is very scary. I can't remember what the Terra types were. We're going to see right now. It is Terra Fire King Gambit, so Terra King Gambit as well. And then I am also Terra Steel on my Enam, so I just get hard called there with the Terras. But we are going to lead off with our Earthworm. It's the Garchomp. As they click Stealth Rocks, I just get my rocks up as well because rocks are nice, just in case Terapagos is in boots. If Lugia is not boots, it's even good for Fluttermane. As they click Fire Blast, and they do 1,000,000%. I get my Citrus Berry, best item in the game. Shout out Jericho. I click Curse. I didn't know what to expect, so I clicked Curse. But I believe we just died this next turn as they hit the Fire Blast. My Earthworm, why do I exist, man? I don't know. You fucking suck. Earthworm is gone. Here I have to go Enam. I take Rocks, which sucks. I click Calm Mind, expecting them to switch out as they click Rock Tomb. And I'm just getting absolutely red. I'm getting absolutely red, not playing well to start this game. This Garchomp is just putting in work against me. I go Bramblegast as they click Fire Blast, and they OHKO my Bramblegast. I'm getting, like, so hard red. Like, this is one of the worst starts to a game I've had in a while. I used to do this quite often where I spiral when I get like 2 turns wrong, and this is just me going back to my old ways. Shout out to my opponent though, Potato Z, putting in just going crazy against me. I go to Mienshao and I miss my triple axle. And I do actually, like, triple axle is such a bad fucking move. Such a bad move. This move just misses every time. But Potato Z did say the Garchomp is sashed, so that's why he's just staying in, which, to be fair, that is a good set. Especially into me, where I overplay. But I do miss triple axle, which sucks, but I really don't have any other play other than clicking it again. And I am going to die to Rough Skin. So Garchomp just picking up 3 KOs to start out the game. I go to Chimp out at this point, and my opponent could switch out, but they stay in. I get the kill with my Chimp out, so I'm not going to get 6-0, which is nice. But this game is pretty much wraps. I can try to scrap my way back, but Enam's going to die to Rocks, which I do sack this time, or this turn, so I can go into my Reshiram, and start to set up. I believe I'm DD. Yeah, I'm DD on this. I thought DD did the best. As they click Toxic, you'll see I forced this DD Reshiram a lot. They go to Lugia. They're going to be heavy duty boots, and here I can just go Dragon Claw again, hope for a crit. I don't get it as I click Recover. I'm gonna have to really play my turns right. As I click Flare Blitz and I kill. Could have killed it a turn before, but I think there was a roll. I thought I got low roll into low roll, but I think I was calcing wrong. I think I was getting close to max rolls with those Dragon Claws. Either way, Terapagos is going to come out, and it pretty much just wins the game here. It does take Rocks, so we click Flare Blitz, and we do a whole lot of damage. But if this thing clicks Rock Polish, which it does, it pretty much just wins. I'm banning Chimp out, so I have to lock into a move as I do, and I kill the Terapagos. So that's fine. It doesn't just beat me. We are going to be able to bring this down to a 3-0 after it did not look the greatest for us. And we still do 44% to that Quillfish. And you see even there, we pick up another KO with our Chimp out. Like, Chimp out is fucking broken. They just go King Gambit, and King Gambit is going to win the game, or my opponent. We still do so much damage. Chimp out is so good. But we are going to lose 2-0 to Potato Z. If I did not play so poorly in the beginning, I think I would have had a real shot with the matchup. Like, Reshiram with DD just obliterated my opponent. But I just sacked too many things. And it didn't go the way I wanted it to, unfortunately. But we are going to lose the second game 2-0, which looked pretty bleak, but we brought it back to a 2-0, so not too bad. We're going to be 1-1, +1, I believe. But let's go ahead and get to the third and final game. 2-1 locks you a spot. It is top 32, so there is a chance if we lose the game that we can make it based off diff, but we will have to see if I win or lose. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the third battle. We are here with the third and final battle of Pool Play versus Harris, which Harris is a very good Uber's Draft League player, so I have my work cut out for me. And Harris has a crazy, crazy team with Mewtwo, Terra Zarude, a Metagross, Tinglu, which just walls a lot of Pokemon. Tentacruel also does pretty decent to my team, but let's go ahead and see what the Terra types are. I am going to be Terra Ground, Enam, and then my opponent is going to be Terra Water Zarude. So we lead off with Bramblegast, and here I switch out because I don't want to click Grass type move if they don't Terastallize. As they don't Terastallize and they click Knock Off and do 1,000,000% to Reshiram with my Jetpack, because I am, I believe, special with Draco Meteor. So that's what I was going to do there, was I was going to Draco the next turn. As we do see my opponent taunt as I just click Draco, and I try to get as much damage off as possible, and I do a lot, but this Pokemon does get access to Synthesis, so as they do just click it, and I'm just going to do no damage. So I click Draco again, and here I have to hard swap. I think I hard swap into my Clodsire. As I click Knock Off, I believe I am I Water Absorb in this one? I can't remember, I don't think I am. As I click Taunt, and I can't get my Toxic off, which does suck. And they click Peta Blizzard, they do 25%. I missed my Gunk Shot, which, to be fair, at the time I was a little upset about. But if I hit my Gunk Shot, I just really wanted a chance to poison this guy. And then also be able to do a lot of damage. And you'll see the Gunk Shot does 0% because I miss again. That's what I was upset about. I missed 2. So now my Clodsire has no chance of doing anything, and this route is basically at full. So I can't really do anything. I click Moonblast just to get some chip off. And I do nothing as I click Knock Off. And knock off my boots. I can just click, I think I might be a Calm Mindset, but I'm just going to spam Moonblast and try to have Zarude run out of Synthesis. As they do switch out, I am Terra Ground, so I can Terastallize this next turn, but I do decide to switch just in case as they click Psychic Fangs, and I'm just letting everything get chipped, but I do get some chip off on the Metagross with Rocky Helmet, and I do click Willow, so Metagross is pretty neutralized at this point. Metagross does get Rocks up, which sucks, but I am a Nasty Plot Rotom Wash. I've brought this set before against a Tinglu, just so I actually do damage, and it's looking pretty good in this spot, because I can do a lot of damage to the Tentacruel. As I click Thunderbolt, and Tentacruel doesn't die. I do get a Para, which is nice for me, and I can pick up a KO, so Rotom Wash putting in work for me. First time has done anything in the pool play, but at this point, our Rotom Wash just dies to a Peta Blizzard, and I have nothing I can do. And Terra Water Zarude just looks like it's going to clean up the game. I can click Power Whip here, and I do a lot of damage, but they click Knock Off and they just kill me. So I was a Scarf Bramblegast, and I don't think it was a roll to kill. I think there was like no chance I ever killed. But here I can just click Crunch, I believe, and just kill something. I click Crash, which crit. I think I 2 KO'd anyways, but I have to click Sucker here anyways, just in case of Bullet Punch. I think I was Black Glasses or Expert Belt Jump out this time. But here it's looking like Infernape just cleans up the game, which is very unfortunate. They click Flare Blitz, but if they aren't banded, they can just click Close Combat and kill me, in which they do. So here I'm kind of forced to go Enam and hope I live after Rocks. I Terra Ground, they click Flare Blitz, and they just kill me, and that's going to be GG. Infernape's just going to clean up the game. Not much I could do. I just played it very poorly. Sucker Punch still doing a whole lot of damage, but GG's to my opponent. Oh, didn't mean to restart. GG's to my opponent, and there's a chance we don't make brackets, but we slide in, I believe, at the 31 spot. We somehow make bracket play, so we still hold on. I ain't going nowhere, even though I did not play the best in my pool play. I went 1 and 2, like -1, I believe, or -2, but I barely scraped my way into brackets. So we are actually going to make top 32. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the bracket play, and I believe we pull Cali Ice, which is unfortunate, but you will see how I handle Cali Ice in the next battle in top 32. So we were actually the 29 seed out of 32 possible teams that could make it into the bracket. So we are playing, I believe this would be the 4 seed, something like that. Yeah, we are playing the 4 seed Necro, which their team with Cali Ice, Calyrex Ice Rider is definitely the most broken Pokemon in this format. this Pokemon just is super hard to deal with. It can be a plethora of sets. With Trick Room, it can set up its own Trick Room and just win the game. With Chilling Neigh ability, it can raise its attack after every kill. And it could also be a rock, or what is it, rock polish set, or whatever it is. Agility, I mean, which doubles its speed instead. So I have my work cut out for me, but I am some pretty cool sets. My Orthworm, I was like 200 special attack modest with Steel Beam to be able to deal with this Cali Ice, because I lived any one hit. So let's see how I do and see if I can somehow win this game and make it into top 16. We are Terra Steam. No, we are Terra Fire Enam, as my opponent is, I believe, Terra Water Ogerpon. And then also I think it is Terra Water Ogerpon. But my opponent does lead off with Lando as I lead Reshiram, which not the greatest for me, but I am Shookaberry. So that was the whole point, and then I can just do a whole lot of damage with Blue Flare. And the Lando had a little bit of HP, so I didn't kill there, but I can just go into Earthworm with the Earth Eater ability and just live it, as they do miss a Hammer Arm, which is unfortunate as I get my rocks up. Here I can switch out at this point. Enam can live any fighting type move. I quad resist it. I'm sorry, I keep accidentally clicking that. But very unfortunate. I've gotten lucky a little bit in this tour so far. But Earthworm being able to hang on, that Hammer Arm would have done 1,000,000%. So we do just kill here with the Moonblast. And Klefki comes out, which I am Terra Fire. So I'm just going to Terastallize as they do T-Wave. But I am Lumberry. For this Klefki specifically, I click Terra Blast and I do 1,000,000%. There is some special defense on that Klefki, but that I prepped very hard for this. I got the 6 correct that they brought. So other than Carbink, I didn't expect Carbink. I can't remember what Pokemon I expected. But like you saw, like the Shuka Reshiram and the Lumberry on this. And here I switch out because I can deal with it with my Clodsire, and if it is going to be Magnetized, that does suck for me. I didn't know if they could fit Magnetized, so I just went ahead and clicked Earthquake. But I can just go Reshiram. Even if I do get T-Wave, that's fine by me. Reshiram's done its job, and they just decide to get all 3 layers of spikes up. And also, I believe they have their... No, they don't have their rocks up. Just 3 layers of spikes. We see Overpower Water come out, and I am a Water Absorb Clodsire for this matchup, as they do Terra Water, which is scary, but they click Ivy Cudgel and I just gained my HP back. And this Ogerpon Wellspring can do a couple of things. It can be a setup set, but since I am Water Absorbed, but I can just click Toxic and just be able to deal with it, because I am Rocky Helmet as well. As they do click Sword Stance, I get my Toxic off, and I can live any one hit. Even if they want to click like High Horsepower, but they do click Trailblaze and they do 1,000,000%, but they are going to take Rocky Helmet, and I click Gunk Shot and I do a bunch of chip and they take Toxic. I wish I was Protect. They click Horn Leash and they gain a lot of HP back, but they are going to take Rocky Helmet and Toxic damage, so they're back to what they were. Here I can just go Chimpa, and I am going to take 3 layers of spikes, which sucks, but my opponent does not have a good way to deal with this. Seeing those stat raises are crazy, but I can click Sucker Punch and pick up a KO, and Chimpa has just been very, very good for me. We see Carbink, and this puts me in a really bad spot. I kind of just go into Reshiram to sack it. And as Carbink clicks Trick Room. Now here, I don't have too many options other than I sack Reshiram, and then I go Earthworm, and I kind of had to click Steel Beam. And they kill me with Body Press, which does suck, but Reshiram was a sack piece anyway. I go in to help me, the Earthworm. As I click Body Press, they're going to do 1,000,000%. I click Steel Beam, and I take this thing down to its sturdy. So, very, very good for me, because now I can just go into my Chimpow, since there's going to be 2 turns of Trick Room left. And I think I'll be able to deal with that Cali Ice if I can stall out these Trick Room turns. But I just go into my Chimpow, and here I'm forced to click Sucker Punch, but obviously they click Rocks, so it fails. But either way, if they switch into Cali Ice, I click Sucker Punch the next turn. Even if they Iron Defense a bunch, I should be okay. Depends on if they are Trick Room on the Cali Ice. Because I have the Minchao in the back, I have the Enam in the back, so it really depends on what that set is. But I was fine with just clicking Sucker Punch here. I click it again, but they click Trick Room to reset it, which is fine. It was going to go out anyways, and I'm able just to click Crunch at this point. I believe I was Expert Belt this time as well. They go Cali Ice, and they are not going to be Heavy Duty Boots. So, in my eyes, I kill with a Crunch, and if they're Cobra Berry, if they just kill me, then I can go into Enam, I can go into my Minchao. Really depends on what they want to do. And I click Crunch, and they are Colbert. I still do 40% as they do decide just to kill me with CC. So this is looking very good for my Scarf Mienshao. It's looking like Scarf Mienshao can just win me the game. I am regen. I go into it, and here I believe I just click Close Combat as I do, and I kill the Cali Ice. I was able to do with Cali Ice very, very well. And now this comes down to a 50-50. So, with the minus Spadef, there was a roll in which I died to a Scarf Sludge Bomb. So, I could switch out because my Enam is at 91. I take rocks and I take a hell of a lot of spikes, and I would die the next turn to Sludge Bomb. So, I was trying to weigh my options here because if I switch out, excuse me, into Enam as they click, I can't remember what move it was, but if as they clicked like Scarf Sludge Bomb, they killed me, but then I go into my Mienshao and I live any one hit, and it was fine. But the play I thought that they could also be was they could substitute, and then I just lost the game. I just lost the game because then they killed my Enams. I'm not Scarf, and then they just are able to kill my Mienshao if they are Psychic. That's what it was, Psychic. So I at this point was like, okay, if they are Scarf and they click Scarf Psychic, they kill me, I'm pretty sure my Enam can live. So I was fine with 100% just staying in and clicking Close Combat, as I do, and I'm going to make it to the Sweet 16. I somehow beat the Cali Ice team. Not the greatest run for me so far, but I'm in Sweet 16 somehow. If there's a will, there's a way. A dub's a dub. So I somehow pick up the 2OW, and we are going to move on to the Sweet 16, where we play a very, very good player as well, Ultra player Josh. So let's see how we do. We are here with our Sweet 16 game versus Ultra player Josh, and Josh has the Mewtwo Terrazaru team. This team is one of the scariest teams we've faced so far, with Zapdos, Heatran, Great Tusk, Primarina. This team is just overall perfect. I have a very tough matchup. Let's see if we can somehow get this W, though. We do see is going to be a Terra Water Zarude, which does match up with me very well. And I'm going to be Terra Psychic on my Enam. But I'm going to lead off with my Clodsire. And I think I was Water Absorb at this point for the Terra Water Zarude. I could be wrong. I think I don't think I expected a Water type move. I think I may have just been unaware of Fizzidef. We are going to get our rocks up. And at this point, we see a light screen as I click Toxic. And here, I didn't really know what to expect, other than maybe they just click a Hurricane, or a U-turn. But Zapdos just clicks fucking Brave Bird and nukes me. I've sacked Bramblegast twice in this tour. I'm so sorry, Bramblegast. But Josh makes a great play in his Brave Bird, so I had to try. Bramble is my guy. But we do just go into our Gym Pal. We can just kind of just click Icicle Crash, and then we can, the next turn, click Fighting type move if we want. But we do, since we don't see Air Balloon, this thing could or Heavy Duty Boots, this thing could definitely just be Choppleberry. So they get their rocks up, and then Zapdos comes out, and it takes rocks. So I click Earthquake, thinking it was going to stay in, and now this Zapdos can roost if it wants to. And we see a rest set. It is going to be a rest Zapdos with Chesto Berry, which is a really cool set. They click Gunk Shot. They click Brave Bird. And you see how much damage that Brave Bird does? That is insane. But I click Toxic here, kind of force them to click Rest again. I switch out my Rotom Wash, calling the Brave Bird as they click U-turn. So good play on Josh's part. But they do die to Rocks the next turn it comes out because of Rocky Helmet. So Zarude comes out here, and I don't have a great way to pivot into this. I kind of go Clodsire. If this thing clicks Trailblaze, I just don't really do well to handle it. But they do click Knockoff. Now I can go into my Boots Enam, and I can just fire off a move. They click Knockoff, and they're going to reveal that they are Choice Scarf, I believe. As I click Moonblast and do a lot of damage, Josh decides to sack the Zapdos. And here, whatever comes out, it is going to Primarina. I assume this Primarina is going to be Assault Vest, but I'm kind of forced to just get as much damage off as possible. And you see that Sludge Bomb did 0%. They get a special attack drop, which does suck, but it doesn't matter because they have Aqua Jet anyways. So Enam just was sacked at that point. I go Reshiram and I take Rocks. I can't remember what this set is, but I click Protect here. Oh, I was fucking like Fire Spin for I think it was for the Primarina. But I click protect. I'm protect lefties. I click fire spin, so I trap this Primarina, and I'm gonna do damage that way because Moonblast doesn't do that much damage. I'm a very bulky set for the Mewtwo. That's what it was. I click protect here as they're gonna take fire spin damage, and they do psychic noise, which sucks because I can't get my lefties the next turn after I attack. And I click blue flare, and I do no damage, but they should die the next turn after fire spin. So fine by me. I can click protect here, and this Primarina is going to be neutralized. So we do pick up another KO. The fire spin tech was nice, but at this point they go Great Tusk, and I don't have the best pivot because Rotom Wash is at 74. They click Rabbit Spin, so I do call that, and I am able to just click blue flare and do a huge chunk, and I get a burn. I get a huge burn. At this point, I probably should have clicked protect, but didn't know what was going to happen. But they do click Headlong Rush, so I do live any other hit at this point. They click knock off. They're just going to knock off Rocky Helmet, but still, it's fine. But at this point, it's 3v3. I have a Chimpao. It's looking like it's doable. It's looking like I can somehow win this game. We see Mewtwo come out with agility, and now I'm like, oh shit, I have no out. And I go Chimpao. So here is the 50-50. I hate Sucker Punch 50-50s, but if I don't Sucker Punch and they just kill me, I lose regardless. There's no way I win. But if I Sucker Punch on a Will-O-Wisp, the next turn I still have a chance to KO. So I'm going to Sucker Punch here as they click Will-O-Wisp. So if I got this play right, there's a good chance I won the game. Even with, I mean, Zarude still had a lot of merit since it was Choice Scarf. It could have just beat me, right? I think Choice Scarf Zarude still won because Reshiram took rocks. I was going to have to protect. Hope I lived to knock off. I think I still lost the game, to be fair, if the Heatran was, whatchamacallit, Choppleberry. But either way, I click Sucker Punch, and I don't kill as Mewtwo just clicks Aura Sphere, and that's going to be game. The Mewtwo is just going to be able to clean up. So GG's to Ultra Player. GG's to all my opponents that I've played, by the way. I don't know if I said GG's. We are going to get knocked out in Sweet 16, unfortunately, but we had a hell of a run, to be honest. This is not at all how far I thought I would get. I really thought I was going to just kind of not do well, just because of, like, my experience in Ubers isn't very much. So, like I said, I just wanted some type of practice for BBL WiFi, and I completely surprised myself by making Sweet 16. And if I won this and made Elite 8 and somehow made it past that, like that shit would have been crazy. But Ultra Player is a very good battler and just brought some very good prep. My Brambleghast was basically useless. I sacked it. Clodsire didn't really do anything. But either way, I really was proud of myself for this run to make Sweet 16 with a team I didn't draft and a team that's not really my style anyways. I feel like I did decent, but the pool play wasn't the greatest, but me even making Sweet 16 was a surprise for myself. So let me know if you guys enjoyed the video in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a sub if you haven't already. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the video, but please leave a sub. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it would mean the world to me if you guys would help me reach that goal. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Catch you guys later.